It started with a smile so warm, so disarming that no one could have imagined what was really hiding behind it. In the small town of Ashford, Michael Turner was known as the good guy, the helpful neighbor, the kind volunteer at church, the man who never raised his voice, never caused trouble, never seemed to have an enemy. To everyone who knew him, Michael was the definition of innocent. But that's the thing about masks. They only last until the cracks begin to show. And Michael's mask was about to shatter. It began on a rainy Friday night. Police were called to the home of Sarah Whitman, a 24-year-old college student who hadn't shown up for work. Her apartment door was unlocked. Inside, the lights were still on. Her phone was left charging on the counter, and her keys were still hanging by the door. But Sarah was gone. The only trace left behind was a broken coffee mug on the floor and a single muddy footprint, too large to belong to her. The town was shaken. Nothing like this ever happened in Ashford. Detectives launched an immediate search, interviewing friends, neighbors, and co-workers. And again, one name kept coming up. Michael Turner. He was her landlord. He had checked on her apartment just a day before, and neighbors remembered seeing him near her door that evening. But when questioned, Michael was calm, collected, and cooperative. He smiled politely, answered every question, and even offered to help with the search. The police had nothing concrete, no evidence, no witnesses, and so, just as quickly as suspicion fell on him, it drifted away. After all, Michael was the innocent man. Weeks passed. The search for Sarah grew cold. But late one night, another call came in. This time, it was Emily Brooks, a young woman walking home from her shift at the diner, who never made it back. Her purse was found in a nearby alley. Her phone shattered on the pavement. And just like Sarah, Emily vanished without a trace. Fear spread like wildfire through the town. Two young women, both gone. No answers. But once again, Michael Turner's name surfaced. Emily had once mentioned to co-workers that her landlord made her uncomfortable. She said he lingered too long during repairs, asked personal questions, and seemed to know her schedule. Yet when police returned to Michael, he was the picture of innocence. Friendly, cooperative, almost too cooperative. He insisted he barely knew Emily. He offered his alibi with confidence. And when detectives left his home, he waved with that same warm smile. But here's where the irony cut deepest. While the town rallied around Michael, baking him pies, shaking his hand at church, defending him on social media, the truth was hiding in plain sight. Behind the walls of his basement, Michael Turner had created his own prison. And inside it, Sarah and Emily were still alive. The police had missed it all. The neighbors had looked away. And Michael, the man everyone trusted, was the monster pulling the strings. For weeks, Sarah and Emily were trapped, their cries muffled by concrete walls, their hope fading with every passing day. And Michael? He went about his life, delivering sermons about kindness, helping the elderly with groceries, smiling, always smiling, the perfect mask of innocence. But masks always crack. One night, as Michael drove through town, his car was pulled over for a broken taillight. Routine, ordinary. But in the back seat, an officer noticed something strange. A purse, with initials engraved in gold. E.B. Emily Brooks. Michael's calm demeanor slipped. For the first time, his hand shook, and the mask shattered. Police swarmed his home within hours. And what they found in his basement was beyond anything the town had ever imagined. Chains bolted to the wall, soundproof insulation, a camera set up in the corner, and two women, weak, terrified but alive. The town was in shock. The man they defended, the man they swore could never hurt anyone, was the very monster they feared. The innocent man had been the predator all along. At trial, Michael sat stone-faced, showing no remorse. His defense tried to argue mental illness, childhood trauma, anything to explain the unexplainable. But the jury saw through it. They saw the mask. They saw the monster. And in the end, they gave him life without parole. Justice had finally been served. Yet the town of Ashford would never be the same. Neighbors who once prided themselves on trust and community now looked over their shoulders. They wondered how they could have been so blind. How many smiles were hiding something darker? And perhaps the most haunting question of all, if Michael Turner hadn't been caught by chance that night, how many more women would have disappeared? Evil doesn't always look like a monster in the shadows. Sometimes it looks like the neighbor who holds the door for you, the man who helps you carry groceries, the innocent face in the crowd. The lesson of Ashford is simple, but chilling. Always trust your instincts. Listen when someone says they feel unsafe, and never let a mask blind you to the truth. Because sometimes the person you least suspect is the one you should fear the most. Subscribe for more cinematic true crime stories that reveal the shocking side of human nature. Like this video if you believe justice should always prevail. Comment below. Did you ever suspect the innocent man was hiding something?